Hello, you guys. My name is Edie from Delicious Food and Catering, and today I'm doing a recipe on Cornish hens. This recipe is basically for those who aren't going to have a big Thanksgiving. It's for small intimate dinners. It's really for anything you want, but this specific tutorial is just for those who may not be going anywhere for Thanksgiving or anything like that, or those who don't do big turkeys or turkey in general because they feel like the meat is a little bit drier. So this recipe would be for you. I have 2 Cornish hens that I'm going to end up stuffing with a cornbread stuffing. I'm also going to make macaroni pie, but I may put that tutorial up separately from this one. For these, I'm going to do a Creole seasoning. I just want something that's going to give it a little kick, but still have, some down-to-earth flavors to make it holiday-ish, which is why I'm going to add the stuffing towards the end and stuff these birds. So you want to start off with 2 Cornish hens, 1 Cornish hen, whatever size or how many ever you may looking to use. Going to want to pat dry these. It's important to pat dry them. I have already washed them. So first step is to wash the meat. And then you want to pat dry it. This helps the seasonings stick better. So I just want to make sure, even inside the cavity, you want to get there that's dry. I'm going to end up putting a plate under this because the cutting board is a little wet. And it'll just defeat the purpose of all that pat drying that we just did. Okay, so because the birds are dry now, we're gonna start the seasoning process. And so I have here room temperature butter and a little bit of olive oil. So we're just gonna mix the two and we're gonna coat the bird with that first. So you just take this butter first and you're just gonna massage it into the skin. Can get a little bit messy, but what's cooking without a little bit of mess? And you're just gonna get underneath the skin as well. A lot of people make the mistake of just seasoning the outside of the bird, and then that's where all your flavor is. So when somebody actually cuts into your chicken, it tastes bland because you didn't season up under the skin. So now that the butter's on here, we're just gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top of that to coat. Then you just need a little bit of this. This for me is for taste. This part is optional. You don't really need the olive oil, but I like the way it tastes. It really shines through. Alright, so now that our bird is nice and moisturized with oil, we are now able to add the seasonings. Being though that the bird is pat dried and we've added the oil and the butter, it's really going to help these seasonings stick to the meat and actually let the seasonings be able to pull through once it's cooked. So this is a basic Creole Cajun season: paprika, chili powder, crushed red peppers. I have a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt, and rosemary. I didn't add too much salt because with the chili powder and the paprika and the crushed red pepper, I already feel like it's enough salt in there, and I don't want the bird to be too salty. So it wasn't really needed for me to add a lot of salt. There's also onion powder and garlic powder in here as well. So we're just gonna take this and sprinkle, and you want to generously coat your bird. And again, don't just do the outside. You want to get inside the meat and inside the skin. So this cavity again is very important. And then putting seasoning into the skin as well. That's definitely important. And you'll rub it all in once you feel like it's generously coated enough to your liking. So I'm just going to continue to do this. Kind of massage the bird, giving it a bird bath. Okay, if the skin tears away, it's fine. I know some people like aesthetic, it's gonna get cut into anyway. So it's really not that big of a deal if the skin tears. Especially if you're like a tender bird like me, it's gonna kind of fall off the meat and fall off the bone anyway. So there you go. We have our bird seasoned, and we're just going to find a clear glass pan, a baking pan. You can use this one. You can use a foil pan. It doesn't really matter. Anything that you have that is deep enough to fit the two birds inside is what you're going to end up using. I'm going to take this pan and a little bit of this butter, and I'm just going to coat my pan. And I'm doing that because I don't really want, once the juices start flowing, I don't want the chicken or the pan to stick. So, just doing this. You can use your fingers, you can use foil paper, paper towel. I'm just using my fingers. My hands are clean, as they should be whenever you're preparing a meal. I'm a hands-on cook. I don't like the frilly stuff that people do. I mean, to each its own, but I'm just more of a hands-on cook. So now that that's in there, I'm just gonna place both of my birds in, just like that. All right, so before we put this bird in the oven, we are going to take this piece of cooking twine and we're going to tie the legs. Inside, I just put a little bit of thyme and rosemary, just because I like the way it smells. It doesn't really have a specific reason of why I'm doing that for this particular recipe, other than it's just my preference. So I'm taking this piece of twine and I am tying the legs. You want to make sure you do it tight so that it does not come loose. So that's that, and you want to flip it over, and then you want to make sure you tuck the wings because the wing tips burn. I'm going to do the same with this one. Now, I'm going to take this piece of foil. I'm going to cover this because I want the juices of the Cornish hen to release before I uncover it. So I'm just going to cover that with foil. My oven, as you can see, it's on 425 degrees. So I'm going to cook this for about 60 minutes. 30 minutes is going to be covered, and then the other 30 minutes is going to be uncovered. So now the only thing left is to clean up your mess. Okay, so as you can see, the bird is now completely finished. It has a nice golden color. To get this golden color, I did have to put it on broil just for a little bit, but it looks freaking amazing. It smells delicious. The cornbread stuffing is here. You can make that from scratch, or you can get any type of stovetop stuffing. But this bird looks amazing, and I can't wait to dig in. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to my catering channel. It's greatly appreciated. Click that subscribe button, like and share. I'm also going to be doing a snap tutorial And if you want any more recipes or any more ideas that you have or videos you want me to do, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Send me a DM. My catering page is at Edelicious Catering on Instagram. Facebook is Edelicious Food and Catering. My Snapchat is Edie_Hi. Thank you again for tuning in.